After answering with a wink, Korea's son followed after Dad. I don't even know what the question is. Oh yeah, duh. Natsuhi could be found in the dimly lit hallway. Now, hey, cat. Oop. There we go. Now, now and then. Oh my God, Archer, please. Now and then the thunder would crash. Excuse me, cat. Yeah. Whoops. Her expression was completely worn out. I'm sure it said something about how Natsuhi was tired. The discussion that had just taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuhi's mind. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, the headship and all of the assets of the Yoshiramiya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she had planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Kraus, as the oldest brother, had to succeed the family head. And that's too bad, honestly. It didn't look like he was doing a great job of that anyway. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to succeed the head. To them, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious that they would accept Beatrice's proposal, and even without playing clumsy detective games, she knew that this so-called 19th person, Beatrice, couldn't exist. How do you know that? This was a message employing a fictional character called Beatrice as a messenger. It may as well have been written in Kinzo's own handwriting. The proof was that Kinzo remained stubbornly neutral as to that letter's authenticity. He was completely ignoring these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore that he had given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo had wordlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. I need them to go in that room. I need to see us in the room. Most likely, one of the servants had given Maria the letter. I agree. Kinzo had probably worked out an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared, and someone, probably Shannon, would be made to wear it and deliver the letter in the umbrella. Honestly, I think thank you. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. Anyone could have. No, if anything, this is why you could be certain that Kinzo was behind all of this. In that case, it was just as if Kinzo had butted in on the siblings' private discussion. And by announcing that he would give everything to the person who could solve the riddle, Kinzo had weakened Kraus's overwhelming advantage, and that's just too bad. Now it was certain. Kinzo had listened in on the siblings' discussion in the parlor earlier that day. So he had known how Kraus had staved off the attack by the other three. And to make the scales of the battle go back into balance, he had sent out the strange letter which benefited the other three. Ava and Rudolph had dragged Rosa in, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age, and they were trying once again to overwhelm Kraus 3-on-1 and push through their crazy reasoning. Is she just mad that she didn't have nothing to say in the meeting? And so they had resumed what had once been a nearly decided conflict, and repeatedly pressing Kraus to pay them a large amount of money. Talk about the advance payment, which had been denied once already, was being brought up again under the terms that all the siblings would guarantee Kraus the succession to the family head. So they're basically saying, fuck this letter, and we're just gonna do what we had planned originally and work that out. Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Yoshiramiya family's store of wealth was vast. Just that store was worth more than enough by itself. Even if the hidden gold was buried forever, along with Kinzo's death, there would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they had no interest in the gold itself, there would be the lifelong fear that on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the position of family head. The way I see it, I could give a fuck about their initial contract. I think they should play into this bullshit letter. And this kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage of by someone sooner or later. The only person with this fatal weakness was a successor to the head, Kraus. Girl! The other siblings had found, no, they had been told by Kenzo about something that only Kraus could lose, and they had thoroughly taken advantage of that. I think you're reading way too into it. But I don't think she's wrong. Exactly. Natsuhi, as Kraus's only ally in his painful position and as his wife, who they kicked outside because she was getting too emotional, had believed she was fighting alongside him. She kept trying to point out to him that the existence of the gold itself was a farce and that there was no need for him to compromise. See, but like, if it's not a farce, then this is just a waste of time to me. Kraus had always told Natsuhi. He had told all of the siblings. He had always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than a fiction created by Kenzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had to believe that as his wife, and on that foundation, had supported her husband. Yet her words would not reach him. This is so funny, bro. Even though she was fighting so hard and lending all of her strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise with the other three siblings. Wondering why she could not be of use to him, Natsuhi felt sorrow, shame, and then anger. Girl, poor girl. You gotta reel it in, mama. Like, this, we're at a meeting. It had happened when everyone decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Kraus. Enraged, she had asked why she could not be useful to him. Alexa, play Beyonce. Why don't you love me? He had told her that he wanted to talk about something and had invited her into one of his private rooms, which she was normally not allowed to enter. Damn, in her own house? That room had been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling. His goon cave?
他の3人の言うことも、ベアトリーチェを名乗る不審人物の言うことも、何も気にかけることはありません。黄金など所詮はお父様が生み出したまやかし。
Okay, I'm actually gonna put some respect on her name, just a little bit, because Kraus told her that, right? And so, God forbid Kraus is wrong. However, it is nice to have a supportive spouse literally be like the angel on your shoulder.
それを見つけられることなどあるわけがない。
Like, she's the one that's like, I'm a ride or die. I'm a ride till the wheels fall off. And so I respect her loyalty to her husband, as misplaced as it is.
あなたの後継ぎであることは盤石です。何を恐れることがあるのです。
See, this is like what you'd want your bestie to say to you. But like, all this is bullshit. I feel like. Kraus removed the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsuhi to enter. And plus, like, his sister is always like being a dick to her, and he never defends her. And she's still trying to defend him. So like, I feel bad for everybody. Everyone sucks here.
何ですか?
Is it the gold?
君に初めて見せるものだ。
Wow, your loyal confidant? Is it proof of the gold? If you show her proof of the gold after she acted a fool in front of your entire family, like, she ought to slap the shit out of you. Natsuhi timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for a switch to turn on the lights, but since this was her first time in the room, she didn't know where it was. Kraus entered behind her, pushing her in, and closed the door before making any attempt to turn on the lights. The two were swallowed up by the darkness. Only the sound of Kraus locking the door rang out through the dark.
これは何事ですか? 明かりは?
今つける。待ちたまえ。
Fierce. True to his word, Kraus pulled a switch on the wall, and a flickering light turned on and lit up the room.
それは
Natsuhi had her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table had been set, and the lights brightened only that table, as if it were the leading part in a play. What's on the table, bitch? Laid out on top of the table was a red tablecloth of elaborate design covered with dust, and on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. Is it a brick? That something took Natsuhi's breath away. Show it to me. Damn! The size of an arm, bitch? That's big. That's a big brick. I ought to slap. If I were her, I'd wrap this shit up in this tablecloth and smack this man over the head with it. 9999949s. You had her looking stupid. Oh my god, engraved with the logo. It was an ingot of solid gold. Even in that faint light, it sparkled with a noble and dignified gold glint. He just has this sitting on a table. I'm sorry, I just was like flabbergasted. It takes a high level of skill to make the purest of solid gold ingots. And in order to verify that purity, it is standard to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guaranteed it imprinted on the gold. Damn, unmarked gold too. That's nuts. Non-taxable gold? However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal. This mysterious gold bar had come from an unknown foundry. Natsuhi, following Krause's words, timidly approached the ingot. Damn. Krause pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsuhi concentrated on that section. I would just be like, siblings, the gold is real, let's put our heads together, let's solve it. Problem solved. Right there. And we're done. And we split it up just how we decided, according to the contract. I would get half, and y'all would get the rest. But I guess then they would be like, well, that's not what the letter said. The letter said whoever finds the gold gets it. But I mean, they got a little contract, finder's fee, it's fine. Right there was the thin imprint of the one-winged eagle crest. Natsuhi's breath was taken away once again.
親父がベアトリーチェに与えられたといい、保証人のマルソーの会長に任意で一つを抜き取らせて持ち帰らせ、財界のフィクサーたちを信用させたという伝説のインゴットなのだよ。
I bet Carl's just been showing this to people and losing a lot of money.
方々に手を尽くして私が見つけた。他の兄弟たちより早くね。
そんな。じゃあお父様の黄金伝説は
実在する。後ろ宮金蔵が授けられたベアトリーチェの黄金は実在するのだよ。
そんな本当にあるなんて。
Girl, that's the question we're gonna ask. Natsuhi was shocked. Krause had always said that Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication, so she had believed it as his wife. However, the reality was different. He had held definite proof and had been more certain than any of the other siblings that the legend of the gold was true. Because of this, Krause was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself would find the gold and that he had failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuhi, this truth was more than enough to split open her heart. Damn, yeah, she's like, I trusted you. She had thought that as Krause's wife, she should be his closest confidant, which was why she had been selflessly supporting him. And yet he had hidden this fact from her until today. Right, until the shit hit the fan. Why?
そこまでに私はあなたの信頼に足りないというのですか。
Dang, when she loves hard.
そういうつもりはない。
You hate to see it.
話す必要がなかった。
あなたにとっては妻はその程度のものなのですか。
I mean, his family is very patriarchal.
落ち着きたまえ。劇場に住むかられるのは君の悪い癖だ。
Damn.
あなたがそうさせてるんじゃないですか。
Damn, you hate to see it.
私は後ろ宮家に嫁ぎ、今日まであなたの妻として仕えてきました。
And all for what?
あなたのために生まれた家を捨て、身も心も捧げてお仕えしてきました。
My heart and my body.
その報いがこれなんですか。
Yeah.
そんなことって。
Kyle's grimaced, looking annoyed. Damn. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuhi. Oh, yeah, how inconvenient that this woman has emotions, right?
私はもうあなたの
Oh
力に
my
なりそうになり
god.
ます。
Oh!
兄弟のトラブルを私が自分の力で解決。
Okay, shit.
君の力は借り。
I mean, I guess he did it, to be fair.
違います。
Aww.
これは後ろ宮家のトラブルです。
So make up your mind.
確かに私にはこの身に家紋を刻むことが許されていません。でもあなたの妻です。なのに私には力添えする資格もないのですか。
Isn't that what you just said?
あなた
They, ugh.
君を思えばこそあえて関わらせなかったのだ。
The pause. Maybe he meant that.
これ以上は頭痛に触るだろう。
Maybe he didn't mean that, honestly. It's kind of 50-50.
君は今夜はこれで休みたまえ。兄弟の話は兄弟でつける。
And honestly, like, I'm I'm surprised he even showed her this. He probably only showed her to make her be quiet.
君は関係ない。
It really doesn't, babe.
それだけだ。
It's really not about you right now. From Krause's perspective, I feel like he was being, I guess, as reasonable as you could in that moment. While also being a dick. A dull headache tormented Natsuhi. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scent she burned, it wouldn't heal. That's depression, babe. On the other hand, by standing here alone in a dimly lit corridor, her head filled with the sound of the rain, she felt like the pain had softened a little. I may have been Natsuhi, but I was not Ushiromiya Natsuhi. Denigrated as being a sorry excuse for a wife, verbally abused for not even being able to take care of that. Even so, I tried to properly perform the duties of wife, but I've even been rejected by my husband. Not in that order, but the words are there, whatever. I did my best raising my daughter as though it was the last job left to me. Oh yeah, she couldn't have a baby too, so that's extra sad. However, my anger and sadness, having no place to go, caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Damn. Because I have been excessively strict in Jessica's education, I am thoroughly disliked by her. Yeah, that's so real. She needs a hobby and some friends. Jessica despises me for not being interested in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Ushiromiya family. No, that's no good. Even so, I must help my husband dislodge the schemes of the other greedy siblings. He literally just told you to stay out of it. The head won't be around much longer. She's so noble. Eventually, Kraus will succeed the head, and the next successor will be Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jessica will become the next head, but it all comes to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor who everyone will accept as worthy to take over the Oshirimiya family. In the years to come, that greedy Ava will surely be continually plotting to find some fault with the main family. Yeah, she's a dick too. So that if all goes as she plans, Jessica will be dragged down from the succession with George in her place. The funny thing is, Jessica really doesn't give a shit. It is regrettable, but George is a man, and even more, has matured as a person. If you compare him to Jessica, who's right in the middle of her rebellious period, and whose grades are below average, you can see at a glance who's more fit to succeed the head. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband, worthy of the excellent person she will have become. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jessica and stay with her through all of life's joys and sorrows. She really wants what's best for her. That's so sad. Was that Natsuhi trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desire of her own? Abso-fucking-lutely. Natsuhi thought back to the days when she had no choice but to marry into the Yoshirimiya family. Because of that unavoidable fate, she had tried to block that from her memory. Oh, damn. She didn't have a choice? No wonder she hates them. Kind of. Loves them. It's complicated. She had consciously forgotten that and had actively attended to the life she had been given as Ushirimiya Natsuhi. And this was the new life she had built. But it felt like, just now, all of that had been casually rejected. That's so sad. That's so sad. Poor Natsuhi. Forced to marry into this awful family, she completely tried to rewrite her life into something wonderful, and nothing went as planned at all. That's so sad. Natsuhi helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. I mean, to be fair, like, you can't, like, force people to do anything to be a part of your, like, little world, you know? The glass, cooled by the raindrops being against it, was somehow refreshing, and even though it had no emotions, right then it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsuhi. Even if someone showed up there and saw her like this, Natsuhi had no intention of caring in the least. But she found herself caring, damn, because it was her beloved daughter. Aww. Damn, everyone is having a family moment, bitch. We got Rosa and Maria, we got Battler in the gang, and now it's their turn. Just like always, her words are rough and not at all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuhi's throat. However, they did so only weakly, and so she was able to prevent them from escaping her lips.
Jessica.
Damn, she's tired. Aww. I can see why she actually doesn't hate her parents for real. She just be shit-talking them because they get on her damn nerves. Jessica was more than slightly disconcerted by this first ever sight of feebleness from her mother. Until just now, she had been filled with contempt for all of the parents, including her mother. But now, not the slightest bit of that feeling remained. All of it had been wiped out by her mother's completely exhausted face. Parents will do that to you. That's that familial bond, baby. In its place, the words that George had told her floated back up in her mind. The parents are doing their best in their own way. They're supporting their family, so they can't afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. That's so true. As greedy as these motherfuckers are, like, they got a team, you know? Can her mother have been standing around in this dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that? Jessica didn't like her mother, so she had no instinct to give her mother words of kindness just because she looked a little frail. Damn. Therefore, in order to give those words regardless, she had to clench both her fists and wrench the words out from the depths of her heart. Damn. That's tough.
ずいぶん立て込んだ話をしてるようじゃん。
Dang.
お前には関係あります。
She's trying to be nice.
よそへ行っていなさい。
It's like the one person who you should have given all your unconditional love to instead of your goddamn husband. Should have been your damn kid.
頭痛ひどい？
And because you don't give her any motherfucking attention, she's so rebellious and her grades are bad and she doesn't give a shit about anything. Because you don't give a shit about anything. Except your stupid ass husband who doesn't give a shit about you.
私、薬もらってこようか。
I'm gonna slap the shit out all the parents, bro. It's just like Euphoria or something. Degrassi, whatever.
構わないで結構です。
She's trying to be nice.
お願いだから、一人きりにして。
Oh my god. She's like, my husband doesn't love me, and her poor fucking daughter. Natsuhi was not being cold to her. She just wanted to get her daughter far away from her so that she could avoid subjecting her to her short temper. Ugh. I mean, okay, you know, it is nice that parents can never get mad at their kids and it be okay. I don't know, fuck it. But there was no chance that her intentions would reach Jessica. Yeah, girl, it just reads as cold. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. And it's like, as your kid, bruh. Looking at that expression, Natsuhi realized that Jessica was trying to muster up the strength to be kind to her mother. Thank you. She gave her head a small shake to drive away her own unkind feeling. Oh my god. Bruh, parents really piss me off. I'm so sorry. Love parents. Love them.
じゃあ私、行くよ。
Like, just literally think back to what it's like talking to your own mother.
大人の邪魔にならないように、いとこたちと一緒にいるから。
And parents love to be like, you'll understand when you have your own kids, and it's like, what? That you secretly hate them? Is that what it is? I am not talking from experience. Ha 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 ha.
お待ちなさい。
Woo! She called Jessica, about to make her desolate exit, to a stop. I have a decent relationship with my parents, mind you.
気遣いをありがとう。
If anything, it's like Battler and his parents, where they're all just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is.
お前を残して寝込むわけにはいきません。
We like to joke about it. Lessens the tension.
よせよ。演技でもないぜ。心配をかけました。
Aww.
もう大丈夫です。私は行きます。
Staying here any longer with such a feeble expression would actually make her daughter feel more uncomfortable. Thinking this, Natsuhi left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. This time, it was Jessica who called out to her mother's back. Natsuhi stopped, turned around, and asked what she wanted. But Jessica herself didn't know why she had stopped her mother. And for a while, she muttered to herself, with a slightly forced smile as she hesitated over what to say. Bro, it's gonna be really sad when somebody dies. No. She was poking around in her pocket with her hand touched something, and she took it out.
あのさ、母さん。私さ、
今日お守りもらったんだよ。なんだっけな、魔除けだったっけ。確かそのドアノブにぶら下げてるといいんだっけ。忘れちまったぜ。私が持ってても仕方ないし。
That's so
母
real.
さんにあげるよ。
It was the scorpion charm that Maria had given her by the beach that day. Although she had heard of its various effects to Maria, right now, Jessica's mind was blank, and it was all she could do to say even that much. Thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept the charm anyway, Jessica had immediately drawn back the hand, offering it to her. Aww. So when Nazi came back and took hold of that hand, she was extremely surprised.
これは
Aww.
何かの景品？
She was like, a gift? That's my love
私も
language.
多分そうだろうと思ってるけどよ。こんなおもちゃみたいなお守りじゃご利益は期待できねえよな。
No, it's cute. But her mother took the scorpion charm from her grip.
ありがとう。大切にします。
This is like the nicest thing they probably ever said to each other.
ジェシカには今度、私が子供の頃大切にしていたお守りを代わりにあげましょう。
She loves it. She's a sentimental girl. She's a sentimental girl. Like she probably honestly wants to hang out with these damn kids. But everyone else is so like not that, so she has to pretend to not be that either.
別にそんなつもりで渡すんじゃないぜ。
Shut up, Jessica. Just take it.
でもも
Yeah,
うどう
just
してもって言うんなら。
では、私はもう休みます。頭痛がひどいので。ジェシカもあまり夜更かしをしすぎないように。
Nazi put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into the dark hole. Anti-magic charm. Huh?
やっぱり明日も丸一日こんな天気みたいだね。
Battler has one, and now Nazi has one. It looks like the weather will be like this all day tomorrow after all.
やれやれ、今日の日中が嘘のようだぜ。
George and I were killing time in front of the parlor television. At that point, Jessica returned. Her face was still blank, but it looked like she had calmed down a little since she'd left.
マリアはまだ肖像画前？
いや、さっき戻ってきて、今はそっちのソファーで寝てるぜ。マリアにはもう遅い時間だもんな。
Looking at the clock, it was a little past 10 p.m. Even if we were going to stay up all night, it was about time to head back to our room.
一応うちのおふくろが屋敷にも部屋を用意してくれたんだけどよ。どうする？
僕はゲストハウスに戻りたいかな。
He said, "Get me the fuck away from these adults."
親たちの様子を見る限り、僕
Yeah.
たちはお屋敷にいない方がいいと思う。
俺も同感だぜ。子供は邪魔せず引っ込んでろって感じみてえだからな。
And I love minding my own business.
おとなしくそうするさ。
After we discussed that, Auntie Rosa came into the parlor. She was looking all over restlessly. Wow, probably trying to find Maria again.
ローザおばさん。マリアならそこのソファーっすよ。
ありがとう。
She's so much calmer.
すっかり眠っちゃってるわね。ベッドに移さないと。
She's done a
よかっ
180.
たら僕がベッドまで背負っていきましょうか。
ありがとう。助かるわ。ジョージ君たちはゲストハウスに戻るの？それとも夏日姉さんが用意してくれた部屋に泊まるのかしら？
I haven't seen the servants in a long time, bro.
今話し合ってました。 ゲストハウスへ戻ろうかって話になったところです。
そう
Okay, so all the kids are going to the guest house.
ならマリアも一緒にしてあげてもいいかしら。いとこのみんなと一緒の方がきっと安心できると思うしね。
That's very sweet of you. It seemed that in the shadow behind those words, there was some regret that the adults, herself included, had deeply hurt Maria's feelings. Yeah.
任せてくださいよ、おばさ
Yeah.
ん。
That sucks, man. You got this girl crying out in front of the portrait, and now she's knocked out. Worst day ever.
何しろこっちにゃマリアをあやすことに関してはエキスパートがいるっすからね。
Yeah, she'll be fine.
それは僕のことかい？
Absolutely.
僕だけじゃ無理だよ。みんなでだよ。
そうだぜ。バトラだってあんなにもマリアと意気投合してふざけ合ってたじゃねえかよ。
As he said this, Auntie Rosa smiled, looking truly happy. Aww.
みんなありがとう。私たちの話し合いはだいぶ遅くまでかかりそう。だから申し訳ないけどマリアをみんなにお願いするわ。
おーいマリア熟睡か？ゲストハウスに戻るぞ。
Maria muttered something indistinct as if answering, but then rolled over and fell back asleep. It looked like she was sleeping deeply.
すっかり寝込んじゃったようだぜ。起こすのは悪いな。
僕が背負うよ。
Maria's body was much lighter than it looked. George picked her up and pulled her over his back. It was raining hard outside, and Aniki couldn't hold an umbrella and carry Maria at the same time. It looked like Auntie Rosa would come with us as far as the guest house to help out. However, when she heard Uncle Krause's voice call out to her, she had no she had no choice but to return.
困ったわね。
Rosa! What a... But anyway.
もう戻らないと。
皆さんゲストハウスまでお戻りですか？
Where have you been, ma'am? After we left the hall on the way to the entrance, the door to the servants' room opened and Shannon-chan stepped out.
だいぶ暗くなっておりますので、私がご案内させていただきます。
Okay.
ちょうどよかったわ、シャノンちゃん。ジョージ君がマリアをおぶっていってくれるの。傘をさしてあげてくれないかしら。
はい、かしこまりました。
Shannon-chan brought umbrellas for each of us and a flashlight to guide the way. As we opened the front door, the downpour was quite terrific. It looked like we wouldn't have any spare time to take a pleasant walk and enjoy the nighttime rose garden.
兄貴重くねえか？俺が背負うぜ。
大丈夫だよ。マリアちゃんくらい背負えるよ。
Ha!
本当にありがとうね。マリアをよろしくお願い。
She's like, what, 40 pounds? Yeah, you'll be fine.
わかりました。じゃあおやすみなさい、おばさん。それではお送りしてまいります。
So, your ass coming back to the mansion, okay. Auntie Rosa saw us off. Where's Cannon? Where's Genji? Hell, where's Nanjo?
いつもごめんね。
Rosa's mumbling voice didn't reach the person in question, nor anyone else, but disappeared beneath the sound of the rain. After cutting through the rainy rose garden, we arrived at the guest house.
俺がマリアを背負って立候補すりゃよかったぜ。そうすりゃ傘をさしてくれるシャノンちゃんのでっ
Oh my
け
God.
えお胸を二の腕でたっぷり堪能できたってのによ。
I knew he was gonna say something weird.
そんなつもりじゃないよ。誤解だよ。
Oh, yeah, tease your cousin.
そうしないと
ジョージ様が濡れてしまうと思いまして。
ほーらバカなこと言ってないで入るぜ。
Lovers. After being nudged by Jessica, Shannon folded up her umbrella and went into the guest house.
お召し物を濡らしてしまった方はいらっしゃいませんか？タオルを用意いたしますが。
そこまで気を使わなくていいぜ。
Yeah, girl, you're off the clock.
ありがとよシャノンちゃん。
そうだ、僕たちはこれからトランプでもして少し遊ばないかって話なんだけど、よかっ
Oops.
あれ
So sorry. Damn.
今日のシフト深夜勤は誰になってんだ？
Damn, Jessica.
親族会議中は特別シフトになってたと思いました。
Look how her eye is on her face and in her hair. That's so wild.
少し変更も出てるみたいなので、ちょっと確認してきます。
Wow.
ああ、わざわざ屋敷に戻らないとわからないんだ。
I'm sorry. Oh.
大丈夫です。ゲストハウスの使用人室でわかりますので、ちょっと失礼しますね。
Shannon Chan gave a quick bow and went into the guest house servant room. The rest of us headed for the cousin's room and put Maria in the bed for the time being. Maria was sleeping very deeply, and there was absolutely no sign of her eyes opening. We got some drinks out of the room's refrigerator and spent some time playing cards while drinking. There your ass was in the guest house this whole time? Okay.
カノン君?
Yeah, what you doing here?
こちらに。
Oh, hell no.
今夜のシフトはどうなっているのでしょうか?
Hell no.
クラウス様の命令があってね。
Hell no.
シフトの大掛かりな変更があったんだよ。
ゴーダがお屋敷の深夜勤に変更になった。シャノンとカノンはゲストハウスの深夜勤。
Ah.
私と熊沢はゲストハウスに泊まるようにとのご命令。
Oh god.
お前も今夜はこのままこちらにとどまるよう。たった今電話
Instead of going back. So all of Kenzo's spies are going to be in the guest house. Great. Okay. And the one person that's a servant that's not Kenzo's spy is going to the mansion. Great. Okay.
ずいぶん大掛かりな変更ですね。
Yeah, it is.
お屋敷とゲストハウスの当番がまるっきり逆になってるじゃないですか。
Originally, Shannon and Cannon had been given the night shift in the mansion, while the night shift in the guest house, where all the relatives were staying, had been assigned to Goda, who had an abundance of experience in entertaining. Kumasawa had been scheduled to stay in the guest house, while Genji had been scheduled to stay in the mansion. However, it seemed that Kraus had suddenly ordered that the schedule be modified. Why would Kraus do this? The shifts at the guest house and mansion had all been reversed, and Genji was spending the night in the guest house.
多分ベアトリーチェ様の手紙のせいだろうね。
What sense does that make? Does that mean none of the adults want to sleep with the servants, but they trust them with their kids?
多分ってどうして？
あんな怪しげな手紙が現れたらクラウス様が僕たちを疑うのは当然だからね。親方様直属の僕たちを極力親族会議の席から遠ざけたかったんだろうよ。
Genji, Shannon, and Cannon were all permitted to wear the Ushirimiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, as the servants who serve directly under Kenzo. But Natsuhi can't wear it, but these kids can wear it. And Genji can wear it. But Kumasawa can't wear it. Because they're Kenzo servants directly. So if anyone has any idea what the fuck is going on, it's gonna be Kenzo. And as his direct servants, it's gonna be those three. Of course, since they were working for the Shiramiya family, they had to obey anyone's orders, but their only boss was Kenzo. Nanjo can't wear the crest, and Natsuhi can't wear the crest, but Shannon can. Since only Kenzo held the right to employ them, and how long have they been working here? Even Kraus could not have them dismissed of his own accord. Kraus can't even fire them? Who are they? Because of this, they were often viewed by Kraus and the others as Kenzo's underlings and shunned. And in reality, Kenzo would seldom let anyone other than them enter his study. And Kenzo, I have so many questions about him. You could probably call this sudden shift change a clear expression of that sense of distrust. Considering the time Kenzo had left to live, this would definitely be the last family conference before the problem of the inheritance would come up. I wonder if everything being told is happening, like, sequentially. Like, I'm taking in all these facts, but I wonder if time is, like, a factor, kind of like Higurashi. On top of that, the mysterious letter that claimed to be from Beatrice had dropped in out of the blue. Not necessarily time, but, like, possibilities, whatever. Kraus definitely wanted to keep Kenzo's loyal subjects away from the table. Oh my god, if time travel is a part of this, Kraus definitely wanted to keep Kenzo's loyal subjects away from the table of such a delicate and important discussion.
ではすまんが、私は向こうでくつろがせてもらう。もし何かあったらすぐに呼ぶよ。今夜のお客様は特別だ。
See, and what do you know, right? That I don't know.
はい、かしこまりました。源氏様。
Ooh. Genji nodded back, went behind a screen, took off his jacket, and slowly began to relax after a day's worth of tension.
今お戻りになられたのはお子様方。
親族の方々はお屋敷で会議を。だいぶ長引きそうな雰囲気だったかな。
なら気楽だね。これ以上の深夜になって、しかもこの天気。多分親族の皆さんはお屋敷の方のお部屋にお泊まりさ。
Oh
多
man.
分ね。源氏様がいないから言うけど、ゲストハウス行きになってちょっと嬉しかったかな。
どうしてだい？意地悪な奥様やエヴァ様から離れられたから？それとも別の理由があるのかい？
So she can sleep with her man.
別の理由なんかありません。
Don't worry about it, Cannon.
そっか。なら二人で深夜勤を頑張ろう。よろしく、姉さん。
私ついさっきお子様方に
Fuck work.
遊ばないかとお呼ばれしてて。
Shannon hung her head apologetically and made uncertain glances towards Cannon's eyes. Cannon didn't try to meet her gaze and spoke curtly as he sighed. It looked like he didn't plan on indulging his sister.
ダメだよ。深夜勤を仰せつかってる。それに僕たち家具には遊びのお誘いは必要ない。
Oh my god. Just go play fucking
わ
cards.
かるね。
Their kids are nice. Let's make some friends. Please. Shannon dropped her shoulders slightly. She had already expected that Cannon, who considered rules to be very important, would probably say something like that. But even so, she was a little discouraged. As Cannon turned the pages of a logbook, he spoke without facing Shannon.
ならお子様方お待たせしてしまってね。
Why don't you come
深夜勤に当たっ
play?
てしまったからご一緒できないと謝ってこなきゃ。
Oh, damn.
行ってきなよ。
私謝ってくるね。
Damn. Shannon hurriedly stood from her seat before her brother's mood could change, gave her a quick bow, and flew out of the servant room. They're not the same age, right? Happened to be the ones on duty that day. That's not even her real name. Then what is her real name? And why can she wear the eagle? As he watched her disappear, Cannon took a single deep breath. Genji's voice came from beyond the screen.
Kano,
Kano.
私がここにいるからお前も行くといい。
源氏様、誘われたのはシャノンだけです。僕は別に誘われては。
Oh my god. You basically were.
その場にいなかったからお声をかけられなかっただけだ。言えばお前も誘われた。たまには
Like, actually, if anything, you weren't invited because we haven't seen you in like 12 hours.
いえ、僕には必要ない行為です。人の子には遊びも必要でしょうが、僕らは家具ですから。
You're reading into this a little bit too much. We are furniture. See, that has been indoctrinated into you. But why? You must have grew up thinking that, right? You must have grew up here thinking that.
姉さんだって家具です。人のふりをしたって後で苦しむだけなのに、僕はそれが分かっているから人に近づきたくないだけなんです。
And is that why you can wear the wing? But even if you grew up here... Sorry, Genji did not say anything after that. A few moments passed, and then he stood up, used a pot of hot water to make some hot chocolate from powder, and served it to Cannon as well.
そりゃ本当かよ。そりゃ知らなかったぜ。
バカ、声が大きいぜ。マリアが起きちゃうだろ。
Battler was so surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. His voice caused Maria to turn over once, but she soon fell back into a deep sleep. Jessica gave him a jab, and he lowered his voice.
あ、いや、しかし言われてみれば確かにそれっぽい雰囲気はあったんだよな。はあ、なるほどな。
I'm sorry. George could not be seen anywhere in the room. A short while ago, when Shannon had come into the room, George had suddenly said that he had forgotten something in the mansion and needed to go back and get it. Shannon had said she would guide him, just like she had on the way to the guest house, and the two of them had departed together. Lovers.
いや、昔からそれっぽい気配はあったんだぜ。好きなものを聞いてきたり、趣味を聞いてきたりさ。
Aww.
単に関心を持つだけにしてはどうもなんて思ってたらよ。
Too bad I think she is a part of a plot.
そういや、昔から上司の兄貴はシャノンちゃんにやたらと優しかった気がするぜ。なるほどな。
At least an accomplice, I feel like. I doubt she has any, like... I doubt she'd want to do anything to the kids.
天気予報によると
Now the
今夜が
parents...
一番ひどいみたい。明日いっぱいもやまないらしいけど、もう少しマシになるそうだよ。
そうですか。では明後日までは船は来られないかもしれませんね。
And then...
ジョージ様の月曜日のお勤めに差し支えが出ないか心配です。
台風が来ていることは知っていたからね。万一に備えて月曜日には予定を入れなかったから大丈夫さ。こう見えてもスケジュールは先読みできるタイプなんだ。
No, you do look like the type. George puffed out his chest, acting proud. Oh, he's trying to be cool. Compared to the normally composed appearance that George always had as the oldest cousin, he now looked amusingly like a little kid. Shannon chuckled at this gap.
さすが。やがては会社を起こされる方はしっかりしていますね。
やっぱり会社を起こすというのは大変だね。お金とかそういうのだけじゃないものがとても大事だって父さんのところで勉強していてわかるよ。会社を起こすということは城を持ち部下を率いるということ。うちの父さんは秀吉って名前だけあって戦国武将のエピソードがとても好きでね。
Toyotomi?
会社経営の哲学を
Something?
よくそこから語るんだ。知ってるかい？戦国最強の騎馬軍団と恐れられた武田信玄も最初は部下たち
Oh, I'm so
そうなんですか？
honestly, I'm sure it was important.
なんだか意外ですね。
信玄は部下たちを結束させるため数々のリーダーシップを発揮してるんだよ。
Yeah, talk about your hyperfixation.
例えば戦場で武功を立てた部下に対しすぐその場で報奨を与えたり、普通こういうのは戦が終わってからまとめてやるものだからね。それを戦場の本陣の中にいながらまめに部下の武功を素早く評価しやる気につなげたというのは非常に大きいことだよ。それから部下が病気で伏せった時には誰よりも早く駆けつけお見舞いをしたとかね。
He sounds like a good leader.
武田信玄は戦国最強の騎馬軍団を率いただけじゃない、戦国一の部下思いの人だったんだよ。
Aww.
そんな方だから部下の皆さんもついてきてくれたんですね。
You know, as much as I shit on these fucking parents, like, these kids are some really good kids. And you gotta, maybe that means the parents aren't all bad, right? The truth was, Shannon had already heard this story several years ago. What a nice GF. But when George started to tie his father in with one of these stories, he would always be beaming, looking like he was having a great time. So Shannon did not interrupt, but merely smiled to encourage him to continue.
確かに資本主義の世界ではお金は力で石垣の高さでもある。でもね、戦も城も自分一人じゃ成り立たない。大勢の部下に支えられ、その力を借りて初めて成立するものなんだよ。
Yeah, I mean, some would call that exploitation.
それを理解してから父さんの背中を見ると、自分が
When
いかに未熟で
the subordinates don't own the means of production, but I digress.
父さんがどれほどの切磋琢磨をして今日を築き上げてきたかがよくわかるんだ。
ジョージ様はお父様のことをとても尊敬されているんですね。羨ましいです。
あ、ごめん。別にそういう意味で言ったんじゃないんだよ。
It's okay. You got a good dad.
すみません。私も別にそういう意味で言ったつもりは。
The two of them awkwardly looked at their feet. Oh, Shannon had no parents. She had been okay. Yeah. Let's get into it. She had been brought up in a welfare institute owned by Kinzo called the Gospel House. Under the guidance of the honorary director, Kinzo, the Gospel House offered excellent students a chance to live a life of service. If they were accepted, they would be able to leave the institute and work as servants for the Ushiramiya family. This was considered to be the highest honor for a student. So can everyone from that house wear the crest? Servants from the Gospel House all took names of the character... Servants from the Fukurin house all took names of the character In, On, or Non in them while they served. So Shannon wasn't her real name. The same goes for Kanon. All of the students of the Gospel House were orphans. Or, failing that, people who had been disowned by their parents through some special circumstance. Because of this, the students had been taught to think of each other as their only family. That's why it seems so natural to Canon to call Shannon his sister. Okay, not real siblings. And while only Shannon and And while only Shannon and Cannon were working today in the mansion, there were other servants who worked in the shift rotation named Manon and Renon, who also inherited the character in their names. However, there were not many servants who stayed with the Yoshirimiya family for long. It was standard for them to quit after 3 years. So you could probably say that Shannon, who had been working for over 10 years, was a very rare exception to the rule. 10? Working as a servant for the Yoshirimiya family was a heavy burden to bear, but the pay wasn't bad at all. Working for a full 3 years would earn more than what was needed to enter mainstream society. That was why, even if the students realized what a harsh task working for the Yoshirimiya family was, they still hoped to be accepted. But in Shannon's case, maybe the fact that she had managed to continue for more than 10 should not have been viewed as her having more willpower than any of the other servants, and maybe it was a lack of courage to say that she wanted to quit that forced her to continue working for those 10 years. If most people start for 3 and Shannon's like, what, 18? So she started when she was 8? And most people stop after 3? And they're orphans? But where would they go? To Kenzo, who could not even trust his own blood relatives, those excellent servants sent from the Gospel House were the only ones who could trust. I don't like that. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. It's giving creepy. Because of that, Kenzo would sometimes allow them to wear the family crest as servants under his direct control and have them work close to him. It's too close to me. For 10 years? Oh, too young. And she has a leg tattoo that she's had since she was 8? Or whatever? I'm telling you, it's too many questions. Damn.
目標の額があってお勤めを続けてるわけじゃないのかい？
そうですね。私はこのお屋敷に行くあてもありませんし、お嬢様とも他の使用人の子たちとも仲良くやれてますし、奥様には時折お叱りを受けますけど、バラの世話やお屋敷のお掃除も楽しいですし。
You would be like a great kindergarten teacher.
でもそれはシャノンちゃんの、サヨちゃんの人生じゃない。
Sayo. Shannon cast her eyes downwards when she heard her real name. Yeah, bitch, your name isn't even Shannon for real. You need to get up out this house. She understood what George was trying to say and closed her mouth.
僕は成人し、社会人になってからも勉強して分かったことがある。
Oh, it's getting serious.
子供の頃、僕らが思っていたほど人生は単調で短くないんだ。
That horrifying thought that everyone has in their student years. Will the rest of my life be like a monotonous, boring, sleep-inducing after-school class, where I endlessly, lazily while away the time until finally it ends without anything interesting ever happening? However, these thoughts only arise while a person is still an underage student. Compared to a human's life, the time they spend as a student is nothing more than a blink of the eye. Just the period before they break out of their shells and cast off their immaturity. Is she gonna be like, I'm furniture? The inside of this the inside of the shell might be a hot, suffocating, and boring world. Why? I don't like that the servants call themselves furniture when they serve a man as freaky as Kenzo. That's not okay. But the world beyond that shell is vast and filled with limitless possibilities.
君の人生はまだシャノンという殻の中でしかないんだ。
Get into it.
君は自分の人生がこの生活のままずっと続いていくと勘違いしてるんじゃないかな。
Spread that wing.
それは
Because it's one wing. Get it? Shannon couldn't deny those words. She hadn't been able to find any concrete issue with her way of life. And since she'd never had any desire or goal to change herself in any particular way, she had continued her life idly. And if she were asked whether her life was already fulfilled, she wouldn't necessarily have been able to nod. That may have been a truth she was deliberately averting her eyes from. As long as George did not realize that truth, damn, she would have continued pretending not to notice as her real life slipped away, neglected bit by bit. No! Hang on. I know people like this, and it's always interesting whenever you hit them with these kind of questions, because it's not that, to her point, yeah, I was going to say, it's not that they hadn't ever thought about it, it's just that they choose to ignore it. And they never want to hear these questions being asked. Right.
私はこのままでいてはいけないのでしょうか
You know, that's not his question to answer, to be honest.
いけないよ。
Oh, well.
あ、それから今ルール違反が一つあったね。
George immediately gave a strict answer and then broke out into a mischievous smile. I bet that gave her so much anxiety. Shannon already knew what she was being chided for, and it seemed that it embarrassed her as she hung her head.
僕たちしかいないときは様はなしの約束だよ。
約束では聞けません
Bro.
ですがご命令でしたら聞かないわけにはいきません
She's so cute.
私は
Oh.
ハグですから
I don't like it. It's giving abuse.
じゃ
I
あ
don't like
命
that.
令だよ。
And she's worked here for 10 years.
はい
And she's a grown ass woman calling herself furniture.
かしこまりましたジョージさん
And she's just like Natsuhi. She has this like, she's like, this is how it is, and we're not going to deviate from this. And that is dangerous to George's point. So honestly, maybe yeah, girl, you need to think about how you want to live your life. I'm so sorry.
それでさやちゃん
A smile rose to George's face, praising Shannon. No, Saya's small act of bravery. The way they talked with each other gave off the sense that the relationship had already been ongoing for some time. Good. George sees you as a person, not as no goddamn furniture. Fuck that bullshit, bro. For a long while, as if the weather raging around them didn't even enter their consciousness, the two of them talked about the many memories they'd built during their relationship that no one else knew about. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Every once in a while, a flash of lightning would attempt to dampen the mood, but it could not sully these moments, which seemed to flush even the roses outside into a deeper shade of red. They're totally fucking in the gazebo. And I'm happy for them, honestly.
そうだ君に見せたいものがあって
なんでしょうか
George, who had been speaking eloquently, suddenly started to stutter. From his manner, Shannon too understood something. George timidly searched through his pocket for it. It got caught deep in his pocket somehow and came out somewhat slowly and awkwardly in the same manner as the speech. Oh my gosh. It was a very small box. A small box covered in a deep blue velvet. It's a fierce ring. Its characteristic shape was enough to make anyone realize what was resting inside. Shannon had been preparing her heart a little, sure of what it must be. But even so, when she actually saw it, she couldn't avoid blushing once more. George opened the small box, took it out, and held it out for Shannon to take. I'm sorry.
このような高価なものはお受け取りできません。
He's serious.
受け取れない。
Oh, damn.
いえ、こんなもの私には過ぎていて。
Girl, you better choose some words carefully, okay?
さよ。
Ooh. He said don't play with it.
これはお願いじゃない。
This is an order, bitch.
命令だよ。
Period.
この指輪を受け取って。
That's not like the most romantic way to propose to somebody, but maybe for them it's cute. She's like, hell yeah. Take it. Oh. Yeah.
そうだね。
Yay. Ooh. Shannon, not wanting to show her bright red face, timidly accepted the ring from George's hand while still staring at the ground. That ring wasn't a simple accessory. It was a noble object, which since ancient times was meant to be offered to a special woman with a special meaning. So while George could order her to take it, he could not order anything beyond that. Anything beyond that would depend not on an order, but on Shannon's, no, Sayo's own will.
だからここからはもう命令じゃない。
Damn.
さよ。
Yes.
明日までに
First name.
言葉でない形で返事がもらいたい。
Tomorrow, I feel like there will be less people alive. I love all this character development.
もうこれ以上は命令じゃないから僕は君に命令はしない。でも指輪は指にするものだからね。気に入ってくれたなら好きな指につけてくれればいい。
I love how he's still like, I'm gonna give you your agency. Shannon had only pretended not to know. She had already understood what he wanted her to do. But she was standing at a huge crossroads of her life.
もうこんな時間だね。今夜はこれくらいにしよう。
This music is bomb, bro. George faced away from Shannon, seemingly slightly uncomfortable.
君に左手につけてほしいと命令することもできるかもしれない。
Just relax, George.
君も命令されればそれに従えるという臆病な甘えがあるかもしれない。
Damn. He's like, I need to know that you mean it, though.
でも
Yeah.
最後のここだけは君のさよの意志でしてもらいたいんだ。
Period. Get him,
わかる
George.
ね。
He said, fuck all that Shannon shit.
だからそれが命令。今夜よく考えて明日その返事を見せてほしい。
You better go with this rich man who has all the agency. He's gonna give you so much agency. Unlike Nazi, unfortunately. Shannon nodded back. Today was the culmination of their long relationship. This moment had not come as any surprise to Shannon.
そろそろゲストハウスに戻ろうか。これ以上遅いとみんなを心配させちゃうよ。
This is so sweet.
あ、すみません。私、そのお屋敷に用を思い出しまして、
Oh yeah, because she was supposed to go back to the guest house. What do you have to do in the mansion?
こんな時間に本当かな。
George stared into Shannon's face as he laughed mischievously. He had seen through that obvious lie of Shannon's. But imagining how she felt, it wasn't as if he couldn't understand her embarrassment and why she might ask to be alone. And so George, having understood Shannon's lie and all that was behind it, allowed her to leave. Damn, bro. Like I said, I don't think it's any of the cousins being the kids, but I don't trust any of the servants. Fuck, see, and it's about to be some bullshit. I already know. What time is it? 11, same night. Honestly, perfect timing.